Oh wow, hi everyone. I'm really excited about this masterclass because I'm going to talk about how it's going to work is I'm going to talk about a little bit about sleep, some stuff that you've heard before. You've all heard this stuff before, but I'm just going to remind all of us because it's that thing about what it means to be mindful every day of how we look after ourselves. And you can chat to me too. I love it when people chat and tell me where they're from. If you're calling in from all around the world, we've had America and Ireland and different parts of Greece and Italy and the UK. So do send me a little message in that chat. Find your chat box and talk to me. But we're going to just think about sleep, and we're going to think about how. Thank you, Caroline. Oh yeah, Caroline, Liverpool, fantastic. Great to see you. We've got Devon. That's it. I love that. We're all in this together, trying to get some good beauty sleep. Um, Bulgaria, fantastic. So yeah, why do we need to sleep? And we're going to think about some practical facts. Like I said, you've heard it all before. Some of it you may have heard, some other bits maybe not. And then we're going to do a meditation. And the meditation is to bring you into. Hi, Lynn again. Love Lynn from Shropshire. Often joins me from my full moon meditations. Got France. Oh, we've got, is it Sadia from Montreal? Lovely. Northumberland. Um, but the thing about sleep is over the last year, I really feel like it's been highlighted because of the pandemic, because of lockdown, and the anxiety that's been rising. That's been around us in the collective, and that's sort of with us. What's happening next? Every day it changes, and that really affects sleep. But the sleep that we have is a nightly dive into the fountain of youth. And that is a truth. Okay. So when we're thinking about why do we need to sleep, we sleep because it is the time when the body truly repairs. So when we think about collagen, it's when actually collagen, the blood can actually is really activated and it can repair and it produces collagen. That's my two dogs barking. Produces collagen, and also it any UV damage that's happened during the day, it clears that. It's repairing the cells. It's the time when we truly repair. So we really need it. We really need to have some proper sleep. And people have, there's this idea that we can sleep on 4 hours or 6 hours. And, we've heard all the stories of Margaret Thatcher on 4 hours and this person on 3 hours or whatever it is. But truly, the body actually needs 8 hours, around 8 hours, because we have to drop in to some deep sleep cycles. And it's the deep sleep cycles that is where the body repairs. The body does not repair in life, okay? But it is in our day to day that we are preparing for our sleep. It's in our day to day that we're preparing for the quality of our repair in our sleep. And these are a few of the things that they come up time and time again. We've heard them before, but it's about that self-love, and it's about, okay, today, what do I do? What am I doing to really show up for myself and be good to myself and be kind to myself? And what do I do today? Those small steps that will create a better quality of sleep. So the other thing that's also really important about sleep is that it regulates it, and this was quite interesting for me. Two hormones that regulate weight gain and also how the body works. So it's like the body holds water and it holds energy when we're actually not we're not repairing in that time. So one of the things, really some very basic practicals, and I want you to be very gentle with yourself, okay? We don't have to make these big, brash decisions and changes, but even if we're making a little change, a step at a time, and we may have made a couple of changes in our lives, like we've started to like not look at devices before we go to sleep, or we've decided to, uh, you know, um, do a little bit of meditation, or but there's always something that we can just add, and taking those small steps, really powerful, really important, but also speak volumes for your self love. And that's that thing, isn't it, of what beauty is and what love is. It comes from the nourishing of self. And where do we nourish ourselves? mostly is in that time that we're sleeping. So first thing, really important, getting into sunlight. Now I know, and I have to hold my hand up to this. When I was doing through lockdown and I was doing a lot of one-to-ones on Zoom, and it gets dark in the winter here, and it's if you lose the sunlight, if you don't get outside, you're losing something very, very important for your rhythms. The body needs to see the sunlight, and you need to get out, and you need to get a dose of the sunlight, a dose of vitamin D, even if the sun's not out, it's light. And you also need to be doing a little bit of gentle exercise. So if you're exercising out there, brilliant, that's great. Um, Not close to bed, but sometime during the day. And if you're not, it's time to really think about, okay, let me do that thing that everyone was doing during lockdown, walk around the park, or just do some gentle stretching, do a little bit of yoga, find something online, even if it's 10 minutes. We can get ourselves into that thing where, suddenly exercising, it can be, if you're not on top of it and you haven't done it for 6 months, or you haven't done it for a year, or you haven't, it becomes something much bigger than it is. And I've just found some wonderful things on YouTube, amazing things on YouTube. 10 minutes of just gentle stretching, 10 minutes of a little bit of ab work or whatever it is, but it really will affect your sleep. So it's like, not only are you going to do that 10 minutes, you can build it to 20 slowly but surely. But when you come to sleep, collagen is happening in the face. And we love that. We're diving into that fountain of youth. So I made I made some notes for you. Yeah, the idea of also this sacred space. And we haven't got a huge amount of time, but I really want to talk about sacred space. So they call it sleep hygiene, as you probably heard. I don't really like that word, sleep hygiene. It kind of feels a bit scientific. Let's just think about this nourishing of self, right? When we put makeup on, and one of the things that I love about Charlotte Tilbury, actually, is I can go without wearing makeup. And every time I go and see Charlotte, she's like, darling, you need to put on some mascara. I do put on some mascara and I feel better. Um, and it's sort of this combination of really looking after, like taking some time to actually do something nice for yourself, put on a little bit of blush, a little bit of lipstick, but also these things that are the internal support system, your internal, filling the love for self. It's like filling a jug, okay? And sacred space is huge. I am always amazed at how we disregard our sacred space. So, our bedrooms. And that's why recently creating an altar space has become really quite a kind of hip thing to do. We can talk about that in another session, but that's just creating a space in your house, in your bedroom, or in your a living space, or anywhere really. It's just on a shelf. Whether you might light a candle, you might put something, a picture of an ancestor, a relative, an angel, or something, Buddha. But you're just creating like a little bit of peace. So really, that's what it holds. It holds the energy of peace in your space. And it's really easy to have quite a lot of dust under the bed and not vacuum under there. And it's quite easy, because we're all human. It's quite easy to have a pile of books, or some people are really on it and really organised, and that's great. But let's think about this sacred space. Let's think about what it means to go to bed and really be like in a cocoon. Like, I value myself this much. I value myself. And it might be that you buy yourself some new linens. It might be that you buy a really good pillow. All of the things that matter. Obviously the basics, like having a good mattress matters. And if a mattress, buying a brand new mattress, because they're quite expensive, you get a topper. But a good pillow is huge. And then also this idea of, when you go into the sanctuary, you are creating this sanctuary. You're taking half an hour. You're not just throwing yourself into bed after watching a bit of TV and da-da-da. You're actually just like, I'm going to go in, light a candle, and I'm going to have a little bit of, put some relaxing music on, check out, like put the phone out of the room, because all of that does release magnetic frequency, out of the room, and just quiet. Because what comes up in sleep, okay, so sleep gets interrupted by our thoughts. often if you have severe, I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, or in Chinese medicine, the time that you wake up correlates to the organ that is repairing itself. So there's a time when the liver is repairing itself, the kidneys. So if you wake up at 2, it means that your kidneys are, I'm not sure if it's that way around, but it's one of those. It's like liver at 4, kidneys at 2, and it means that your kidneys need help, and because you're running on cortisol. Remember, as we get, I mean, there's all sorts of people on this call, I'm sure, but when we're kind of running around, often the adrenal, women hold a lot of the different things at the same time. We are like multitasking, like up the yin yang. So this multitasking, this adrenal, and it happens to everyone, men, women. It's happening in our culture where our adrenal resources are like pushed, and that thing of, you know what it's like. It's like we're pushing. What can we get done? What do we have to do? What do we have to do? And it's worry. So let's think about this peace. Let's think about this place. We create space where we just are holding peace as a vibration in the home. Because remember, it's like when you go into a room and it just feels really light and bright, or like a yoga studio. Sometimes you go into a yoga studio and you immediately feel like, actually, it's a long day of work. I kind of like come to this yoga studio and just immediately my nervous system, the frequency of my nervous system is just, it's coming down. And it's coming down because there's a vibration in that room that, people are working on the nervous system. They're being mindful of the nervous system, and they are being mindful of creating peace in your space. Well, you have the power to do that. So I think it's Kayla has said, love the idea of putting a loved one's photos to keep the sacred space peaceful. Yes, because we are very visual. Some people are more audio, or they hear that it's that sense of hearing. Some people very smell and then sight, and often we're just all of it. But when we look at something, that's why if we hear the sound of the sea on a meditation app, the sound of the sea does that to the nervous system. And if we look at a loved one who's really loved us and they've passed over, and they may not have passed over, but they just have held a lot of love for us in the lifetime, in that heart energy, it's like the heart can go, and that's what it likes to do. And that ensures every day that what we bring to this 8 hours, that when we're diving into the fountain of youth, we want to get the most out of our sleep, we are showing up with, we're kind of showing up with, we've invested. We're like, okay, we're showing up to these 8 hours, and I'm not just going to arrive here and then expect you to rejuvenate me, sleep. I'm actually co-creating what this sleep looks like. So, I'm here and I got out into the sunlight today. I didn't eat late. I did a little bit of exercise. I'm really mindful of dropping into a peaceful place, and I'm doing half an hour. I'm deprogramming my panic, fight or flight frequency, which is on the phone and responding to emails and ding, ding, and they come in. We're choosing to step out of that, and we're choosing to step into something else. And we kind of meet sleep. We're meeting that part of us with some respect and a little bit of honoring. And again, it really holds this feeling of self-love. It's like, I really honor this time. I honor what you're going to do for me. It's like when we think about the food that we're eating, it's like, I really appreciate the nutrients in this food. And it connects you in. So we've got a few of the practicals. We've got this idea, and I'd really like to hear from you actually about, and even if you just pick one. But again, remember what we're like. The human thing is we can do something for a little bit and then we kind of drop off. So the thing is to just keep this going very gently every day, how you create that habit. But one of the I would say quite a profound one to do is to create this sacred space within your space. And what that's doing in the outside world is it's saying, I am really sacred. There's this anchor of peace in my world, and that's because I am really sacred. So those are things to think about. What I feel like we should do now is our little meditation. And one of the big things that one of the big things about meditation, and this is a thing, if you wake up as well, and I know what that feels like, that feeling of when you wake up and it's kind of a bit wide awake. My partner wakes up, he's always waking up wide awake, so I've had to really work on all of this stuff for him. It's that moment where it's like, oh my God, I'm awake. So the nervous system is like ding. And at that point, where to be with self, even though it's difficult, but where the place to stay with all the thoughts is not to concentrate on trying to sleep, but be with, I'd say not concentrate, but just be with the feeling, that the idea of just relaxing. And so that's when it's quite nice to listen to a meditation to work with the nervous system, or work with some essential oils. Lavender, obviously we know lavender is really good. Cedarwood's really good. Basil, interesting as essential oil, is very good because it's very good for the thoughts. How many thoughts are racing around the mind? You can just put that on here and listen to a little bit of meditative music and just start a very gentle, where it's come up here and you woke it up at 2 o'clock in the morning, we're gently bringing it down. Don't force ourselves into, I've got to fall back to sleep, because that's a cycle that goes, that will get you nowhere. So now we are preparing for this evening's sleep together. And we've created this wonderful moment in time. We are looking to, really get the most out of our 8 hours. Epidermis and organ and cell and blood nourishment and all the things that the body really wants to do for you. It wants to plump your cheeks and and refresh your liver and refresh your heart and change, and clean and clear. It's just desperate to do that for us. And so we're going to meet that process with our own process in our waking hours. And we're going to do a little bit of a meditation now, not for long, because we're almost coming to an end, but for a little bit. So I would like you to, if you can, you don't need to see me if you haven't done this with me before. If you're looking on a phone or a laptop, put that by the side. I'd rather you actually just lay down and sort of get onto your sofa, get into your bed if you're lying on the floor, whatever you want to do, but just make sure you're comfortable. And we're going to just begin with the breath. And so getting yourself really comfortable. If you are seated, I know Team Tilbury are probably seated, you can try this too. Preparing yourself for your sleep tonight. You just feel your feet on the ground. Close your eyes. Remember, there's no right or wrong when we bring ourselves into our own energy, and we're just very gentle, very nourishing, very loving. And we start with the breath, that inhalation, exhalation. And as you inhale and exhale, really listen to yourself, really hear the exhalation. Connecting with that exhalation. Really hearing the exhalation. And taking one of the hands and placing that right on the belly button. So as you breathe in and exhale, we're just letting it go. And often we can feel the energy just behind the neck. It runs down either right in the center or just on the sides. There's energy there that we holding so much in the neck, in the shoulders, all the thoughts, the worries, the fears. And so really letting it go. And we can do that on that inhalation, exhalation. I want you to just, in this moment, we're letting go of today and just today. And each inhalation, each exhalation. So you bring the awareness into the neck and then slowly down into the shoulders, both sides of the shoulders. As you inhale and exhale, just releasing any nervous energy right here, right now, any anxiety. We give permission to let it go. Because we choose to rest and we choose to nourish our bodies. And we choose not to hold energy in our bodies that doesn't serve us. And so again, a nice deep breath in. And if you're lying down, really feeling the skull, just releasing. We hold a lot of energy in the skull, at the back. And there's a tightness often in the facial muscles. So really let's let that go now. As you breathe into the facial muscles, just loosening around the cheeks, allowing the mouth to drop, and the eyes. And allowing the breath to take you deeper. Be mindful of where you're holding your energy, and we're sinking energy through. And taking the awareness into your heart energy. You can hold your heart for a few moments here. As you hold the belly with the other hand, just holding the heart and just breathing in. And exhaling on the heart energy and everything that it holds emotionally. And we're just releasing energy right here, right now, together. Anything that holds us back from sleep, so we're choosing, giving ourselves permission to nourish fully in our sleep time. It's safe to sleep. It's safe not to take those worries into our sleep time. So just letting it go. Inhaling and exhaling through. In this moment, we're releasing in this moment. And each inhalation, exhalation you take, you're just doing a little tap on the heart. A little tap. 1, 2, 3 times. You just see me doing that. And down into the buttocks. If you're lying down, just imagining the hips. The hip bones are just really opening out. We release the energy in the buttocks so the lower body gets a real chance to unclench itself. And where we hold a lot of grief in the thighs, in the hip bones. And so allowing the thighs to just really, really release. So we nourish the body, giving the body moments in time to do what it needs to do to repair. Into the knees and into the calves and into the feet. And as you inhale and exhale, we're just taking in the energy of an ocean. And so it's enough for you to just imagine yourself sitting cross-legged or lying down on the beach in front of an ocean. And we're going to be in that universal oceanic energy right here, right now. Just be with the color blue. And working with that color therapy, vibration of blue. I'm just allowing the washing through, and it's enough to just imagine it. It doesn't have to be any more than that. You're just giving permission for light energy to wash through you. So that can wash through you. And take that right from the top. It's washing through you from the front if you're sitting cross-legged. It's an energy that washes through. And allowing the motion of that in and out energy, like the breath, like the tide, to just take you, and you're just unbuckling energy, just unbuckling the nervous system on each inhalation, exhalation, right here, right now, which is joining the oceanic energy that exists right here, right now in the universe that surrounds all of us, wherever we are. Oceans and oceans of infinite light. As you inhale and exhale, just unbuckling a little bit more in the nervous system. And we're just affirming together that my body deserves to rest. I give permission for self-love, mindfulness in my days to bring true nourishment to my body and my organs and my being and my sleep. Blessed be. We're creating that affirmation, we're bringing ourselves into that frequency of permission. And just remembering in this moment how powerful sleep is and how powerful our preparation for sleep is in our days, in our day, in our being, in our lives. Honouring who we are every day. So you're gently bringing yourself back in to where you are. We're taking 3 nice deep breaths here. And if you're just lying down and you just want to lie down and you just want to stay where you are, then stay where you are. You're at home. Just relax. And I'll see you next time. If you want to come into seated, it's been lovely to see you all, be with you all. I can't see you, but I can feel you. So, having a think about those things, a few of the practicals, very small steps every day is all you need. This nightly dive into the fountain of youth and how we show up to it. And creating a space in our lives where we are actually holding, like that torch, the torch that never goes out, like the Olympic torch of peace. So when you connect with that place, you can look at it on your shelf or in your bedroom, the body goes, just like when you're in a yoga studio. So lovely, thank you so much. Kayla, so wonderful, thank you so much for joining, Anne and everyone. Caroline, lovely, thank you, I'm so pleased. And that was obviously a little tiny meditation, but it's just even these moments of pockets and the nervous system just drops in. So you're really doing yourself a favour. Angela, Erin, oh good. Thank you, Angela. Have a wonderful, no, that was, yeah, Erin, have a lovely day. Thank you for joining us. Hanny, Tracy, Lynn, obviously always love to see Lynn Tipper. Is it Aisha? Yeah, Catherine, Muriel, Angela, Sadia, Stanimira, who's in Bulgaria. Yeah, Stanimira, wonderful. And that's it for today. Blessings to you. See you soon.